Watch out, because this movie can be a bit of a tearjerker. Wonder, directed by Steven Chbosky. This is a new movie from Walden Media, starring Jacob Tremblay, Owen Wilson, Julia Roberts, Isabella Badalovich, and Noah Jupe. This is a new movie supposedly based on a true story and also based on a book about a boy named Augie who has a deformed face. He has been homeschooled for quite a few years by his parents, who are played by Owen Wilson and Julia Roberts. And this is his first time going to what is perceived to be a public school. It's said to be a regular school, but at the same time it's also said to be a prep school. Because when they go to this school, they tell you that you're going to get a scholarship or something. I guess after you complete the amount of years that you go to this school, you get a scholarship or something. Because one of the things that they say about the school that he's going into. And this is his first time going to the school in 5th or 6th grade. When he goes to this school, he's meeting friends, and of course he's getting picked on because of the deformity that he has. And one of the kids that he meets ends up becoming his best friend, played by Noah Jupe, the boy from Suburbicon, who I thought was really good in this movie. The movie is broken up into chapters. Of course, the first chapter centers around the main boy, Augie, played by Jacob Tremblay, who's the boy from the independent film Room that had Brie Larson in it a couple of years back, and how he's dealing with his first few days at school. One of the chapters centers around the boy's older sister, who is about 16, going to her first few years of high school. I think she's like a sophomore in high school or something like that. Her name is Olivia, played by Isabella Badalovich, but everybody calls her Via, and how she deals with the fact that even though she's the big sister, the family mostly gives the boy, Augie, most of the attention, and she is like left in the background and doesn't get that much attention. There's a chapter centered around the boy that becomes the best friend, played by Noah Jupe, Jackwell, and I like the friendship that they had. There's another kid in the movie named Summer who ends up becoming a good friend to Augie, and she was really good in the movie too. And of course, there's the main bully, Julian, who was a pretty good antagonist. And the actors that play the parents, Julia Roberts and Owen Wilson, they're great in this movie. I really did like them in the film. Let's get into the flaws of this movie too, because this movie is not perfect. The main flaw with this movie is this feels like an after-school special. This movie feels like something you would watch on ABC Family or Lifetime, one of those channels like that. It doesn't really feel like something that's cinematic, really, but because it has Owen Wilson, Julia Roberts, and to some extent Jacob Tremblay is making a name for himself with the independent film area. That's one of the reasons why it's in theaters, really. And also because it's funded by Walden Media, which is a corporation that is very pro-private school and anti-public school. One of the first films I saw from Walden Media had Megan Gyllenhaal in it, and that particular film was very anti-public school and very pro-private school, pro-charter school specifically. And I didn't like that movie at all because of the bias that it had in the film. Very blatant, obvious bias, and it really made me angry a bit. So I tend to watch out for movies that are made by Walden Media, but this movie was pretty good, and the reason why I went to see it is because I had a free ticket and it had some buzz in Rotten Tomatoes and stuff, so I did end up liking the film. I thought Jacob Tremblay was great in the movie, and All the other actors in the film really did a good job. There is a little bit of the bias of being pro-private school within the film, but it's more subtle within this movie than it was in the Megan Gyllenhaal film. In the Megan Gyllenhaal film, it was blatantly obvious, but with this film, it's more subtle and you can barely notice it. So overall, it is a pretty good movie, and I'm going to give it a B+. It's worth checking out, and that's all I got to say for Wonder.